Hi everyone, I'm Autumn and this is today's quote of the day. Today we have a beautiful quote by Rumi that also fits with Stoicism and Buddhism and realism and all that wonderful stuff, but it's a little bit more poetic because it comes from Rumi. And the quote says, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself." Love that. It reminds me of the serenity prayer. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Other people and other things outside of myself for the most part. The courage to change the things I can. Internal thought processes, not all of them because some of them are automatic, but quite a significant amount of them. And the wisdom to know the difference. And in so many ways, I think that is the quest of life. That's our journey. That's why we're here, is what's in my scope of control and how do I properly do that thing to live a good quality life, to live a meaningful life, to live a life of contribution. Those things are so important. And I will tell you what, we will just suffer and suffer and suffer when we attempt to change things outside of ourselves that are outside of our control. That includes other people and the majority of the way things are. Now, part of the wisdom that I love in the midst of all of this is there are things I'm quite passionate about. There are perspectives I have about how to live in this world and be in this world. So advocacy or activism might be part of our path. We might want to attempt to exert change in our environment that we believe is for the better, and that is a beneficial thing. I am all for that. But we will suffer tremendously inside if in our efforts to change the world, we are so attached to the outcome we're trying to instill that we lose sight of the fact that we can't control it. This also reminds me, this idea of having a goal, but holding that goal lightly to what is within our control. It reminds me of the Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the sacred Hindu text, Arjuna is a warrior who has this sort of fated situation to fight against his own family, which can be quite a treacherous path, and this can be so symbolic for so many areas of our life. And he actually pauses right before the battle where he's going to go and fight against his own family. And he asks Krishna, he's basically like, what the heck? Krishna is the god of Hinduism, by the way. And he has this conversation. He's like, I don't know about this. Krishna's message in the midst of that is, you have a duty. You have a responsibility. You have an action that you are here that is the proper and necessary action to take, yet you are not in control of the outcome of that action. So you get to fight. You don't get to decide who lives, who dies, who wins. If you stay alive, that is going to be fated to the heavens. So whenever I think about this tension, that I might have goals and ways I want the world to be that make it a better, safer place for people, I can take actions within my power to do that. I can change myself. I can develop the wisdom to say, I can show up here, I can speak there, I can express in this way, I can talk on YouTube, I can go talk at a high school, whatever the heck it is that you think might assist in changing the world in the way that you believe is best, you can go do that. But you don't get to control how that message lands. You don't get to control if it changes legislation or not. You can be part of that, but you don't get to control the totality of the outcome. So we get to control the action, but the outcomes really do belong to the heavens. And that can be a beautiful thing. We usually despair and kind of have a significant response against that because we want things the way we want them. And that's understandable, but it is not beneficial. So letting go and accepting while still simultaneously taking action is just such a gift, such a gift. All right, folks, we hope you got something out of this video. If you did, let us know what it was. Comment below, share this video with your family and friends, and we will see you tomorrow on the next quote of the day. Bye-bye.